minutes. What a great time to find your lunch and find your seat.
Okay. All right, my friends. Now we're here. Jack McAvoy's here. God, look at how handsome you are. My God, for a man of your stature, just a way that we feel something. Let's grab a seat. Don't be shy. Oh, look, Linda found Jack. So lucky. All right, find a seat. Find a podium, Prez.
somebody said my name. Hello, club. You see how starving we are for fellowship? We're going to get started. We have a busy day today. Welcome. I think it's time. It is. It's 12:30. Welcome, club. Hello, club. You know, we've had a lot of meetings. Hello, club. Wow. We got
Hey again, Shannon. You can do it. Do it again.
Hello, club.
Hello, Shannon.
Boy, I tell you, I keep telling people this is the sharpest club in the world, and we're still getting to this one thing. We're this close. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Oakland. We are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world. There are 42,000 Rotary Clubs in over 200 countries, and we are so happy to gather here today. So with that, I want to welcome our visiting Rotarians.
Oh, we're so excited. We have a phone up straight off.
My hook broke. Avis Lagrone and Patty Vanderberg from the Los Gatos Rotary Club. Let's welcome visiting Rotarians. Welcome. And from what I understand, there's some Rotary royalty in this. Oh, thank you. I love getting money. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, the chime is because the theme this year is the magic of Rotary, and that's my magic prompt, so. All right, guests of Rotarians. Do we have any? I know we have a number of guests today. Who do we have? Anna Marie.
Hello. Hello, my fellow Rotarians. It is my privilege to present Kira Pasco, who is both a friend and a favorite community collaborator. She is the development director with the Oakland Parks and Recreation Fund. Would you please welcome Kira?
Kira, welcome. Kira, I didn't recognize you without your cat ears. She helped us at St. Vincent de Paul last week. Nuno.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. My pleasure to introduce Lidit Awope, who is outreach for City Council member Ken Houston.
Very nice. Welcome to Oakland Rotary. Keith.
President Shannon, Keith Uriarte, mostly retired. Today, my guest is Moya Robinson. Moya is a realtor with Compass Realty here in Oakland.
Welcome. Do we have any other guests? Oh, yes, we do. Jason, Mac.
Madam President, I have the honor of introducing two guests today. First is a distinguished honor for me to introduce Graham Lustig of the Oakland Ballet. He is the artistic
Graham,
director.
welcome.
There's information on your tables about what we'll share a little bit later. And then I am very fortunate and lucky to have with me today my lovely bride, Drea Finch.
Drea's here. Drea's in the house. Fred Morris has a guest. No? Fred. He's trying to get us while you're, okay.
Oh, thank you for holding my microphone.
Most I can do, your hands are full.
Hey, I'm introducing somebody. Derek Barnes is CEO of the East Bay Rental Housing Association.
Very good. Welcome back. All right. Any other guests in the room? I'd like to say hello, Pam Clausen, Linda Chu, Tom Lamone, Peter Sherris, Christine Watson, Carrie Hamill, Joel Parrott, Jim Wambash. Who else is on Zoom for me? I only see this one. Oh, and hello, Harold Lowe. And Rochelle, nice to see you. I want to encourage those of you that can't make it to the ballroom, that you come to our beautiful Zoom audience. Rick Draper, good to see you. And anybody I'm not seeing on my Hollywood Squares, welcome, nonetheless, if I didn't recognize you. Deborah Barnes, can you please come up and give us our thought for the day? This is Environmental Month, and we have an event coming up, and we want to embrace our environment. Deborah.
Thank you, Madam President. It's fun seeing everyone on Zoom. I think I saw Dr. Joel Parrott, who's all the way in Portugal, here with us. Hi, Joel. Hi, everyone. So our thought for the day begins with the first line of a poem. It's a famous one. I think I shall never see. See what? Anyone? Very good, very good. I think I shall never see a poem as beautiful as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. Poet Alfred Joyce Kilmer goes on for several verses romancing the tree, and he ends by saying, poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make the tree. In partnership
You've completely gone away. Yep.
Oakland neighborhoods come
There's
and
back.
just
It just
get
came back
love. Happy smiles and lots of goodies.
Okay.
They had free haircuts.
Right.
They had immunizations. They had games, art, candy, eggs, you name it. And your organization does the most amazing job, and you make it easy for volunteers. Sometimes volunteers don't have enough to do. They don't know what to do. You do anything with St. Vincent de Paul, it's amazingly orchestrated. We also would like to give you this lovely check for $5,000+ as part of our community grant program, and we are grateful for your work, and we know you need all the help you can get. Do we have a camera somewhere? Somebody taking this picture? Please. Before you hold I know it's a check. Let's go. Oh. When that light comes up, it means it's a $100 donation to the Oakland Rotary Endowment. Come on. Thank you so much. And Joe, you're going to what?
I'd like to ring the bell.
Mike is not on, but he's ringing the bell for $100 because St. Vincent de Paul is the bomb. All right. Seth Butner. This is our ORE business meeting, which is going to tell us about our new leaders that are joining the ORE Board of Directors and what's happening. Seth?
For my third term.
Thank you. You're welcome. President Shannon and members of the Rotary Club of Oakland number 3. As president of Oakland Rotary Endowment, it's my duty to open this year's annual meeting as prescribed in section 2.3 of our bylaws. This first order of business is the election of trustees, and the Board of Trustees has met in March as prescribed in section 3.4 of our bylaws and nominated the following new trustees for a term 2025 to 2028: Joe Parrott, Jim Bosnecker, and Ralph Sklar, and Stephanie Kazinza. Having received no other nominees from the membership, now, according to section 3.5, I'll accept a motion to approve those trustees as a slate. Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Congratulations to our new board. The second order of business is to report that the Board of Trustees ORA met on April 7th and elected the following officers for the term of 2025 to 2026. That is Jason Weiselman as president, Carrie Hamill, vice president, Kimberly Miller as secretary, and Jim Bosnecker as treasurer. Thank you in advance for your service. The third order of business is for me to thank our outgoing trustees for 3 great years of service. I'd like to thank C.J. Hirschfield, Merlin Edwards, yours truly, Seth Butner, and the greatest member that we ever had on our ORA trustee board, our past secretary, Pam Closet. The ORA board is entrusted, as you know, with the responsibility of managing the funds that we have in our endowment, and they will work hard at gaining that, and I just wanted to thank all of you for the honor of serving as the president for the past 3 years. We made substantial gains throughout those years, but this last month or so has been a little tough with the market. That's the way the market's been going. But we're committed to maintaining everything as we have it, and we built up the endowment to around $5 million over our course of our years. So we're in good stead, and as you know, with Pam having been the treasurer for the last 3 years, 3 years with me as treasurer, it's in good hands as we hand it off to Jim Bosnecker, the new treasurer, coming in. Now, I think the next person that you have coming up is Stephanie Kazinza, who is going to say something about our gala and how successful it was. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.
Awesome. Before I bring up Stephanie, I wanted to thank you, Seth, and all of the trustees that are rolling off and all the trustees that are rolling in. And in case you didn't hear him, our Rotary Endowment is over $5 million, which helps to fund programs every year in this city and around the world. So the campaign is going to be going on for another month. And it's really important that if you do get phone calls from us, yes, we are twisting your arm, and yes, we are looking for generosity, and yes, we know it's a tough time right now in the political environment, and there's a lot of fear. There's no fear in giving to Rotary, because we'll take good care of your money. So I'm just going to say that. And one other thing before Stephanie comes up, we have Marilyn Robeson in the room. Marianne Robeson in the room, and her son, and another guest I haven't met, Ethelene. Thank you. Marilyn was my history teacher at Piedmont High, I have to tell you. And I cherish your membership here, and I cherish the members that you're sponsoring, so it's so good to see you. Chuck McAvoy's in the room. You wanted to say something, sir?
Yeah, most people know that my wife died about 5 weeks ago now after a long bout with Alzheimer's, and I want to thank the many people in the club who sent me a personal note, who knew Carol or who didn't know Carol, but appreciated what I was going through. And I just want to thank the club, Shannon, everybody for the support.
We love you, Jack, and we love Carol. After 60 years of marriage. So you didn't raise that little thing, but I'm gonna, thank you. Just gonna ring the bell. Great to see you back in the ballroom. Stephanie, we had a little bit of fun. Do we have a slide with our little bit of fun? I just put one of the pictures up. Stephanie, our amazing chair, and our co-chair is here. I don't know if Ruth is here.
Is Ruth not here?
I don't see Ruth.
Oh.
Oh, look at the picture. Oh my goodness, what are those people doing?
Thank you so much. And for the first time in months, you're not going to see me in a pith helmet to promote that. People had a really good time on Thursday. We had at least 170 people because we had people show up that we found it, and then people that didn't show up, so it worked out well. It takes a village to put on an event like this, and Ruth said to me yesterday, my co-chair, she said, now I know why you were wringing your hands in October. Yes. So I'd like to say just thank you to these individuals who helped make that evening possible. Ruth Strout, Carla Betts for the amazing decor, Alex Paulson worked with the database, Pat Williams helped in many, many, many ways. Rochelle Carpelas, Jesse Schmidt, Jesse Baudel, Carrie Hamill helped me with making calls for sponsorship. Ralph Scalar was our spotter with the auctioneer, and even threw in a live auction item at the last minute. Paddleboarding, which Joe was the highest bidder. Mark Miller helped, Michael Bruck helped, and I also want to say Tom Lamone, because he gave us the office space there on the first floor to stash all of our stuff. That was just a huge, huge help. So thank you one and all, and we'll have numbers probably in the next week. We're still getting some things straightened out, but it looks helpful, and I think you'll all be happy, those of you that run some of these bigger committees, because this is where the money comes from.
Stephanie is amazing. Many of her predecessors were traveling. Many of the main workhorses of the club were traveling in Colombia, or they were in wherever they were, but it was a Hail Mary, and she pulled it off, and it was fantastic. We have a quick announcement about an event that's on your table. The Oakland Ballet is something that we always want to promote, and so let's have a quick hello to Graham and Mac.
Well, she introduced Graham, so I'll just sit back.
Good day, everybody. Thank you for this invitation to everybody in the room and everybody at home on Zoom. My name's Graham Lassig. I'm the director of the Oakland Ballet. Can you imagine during the pandemic when I heard my dancers were being subjected to Asian hate? I was disgusted, and I thought, what can I do? And I began a program called the Dancing Moons Festival in collaboration with the Oakland Asian Cultural Center to bring ballet to downtown Oakland, to Chinatown for the first time. This program has been nationally recognized. We've been to MIT, we've been to Minnesota, and I got an Isadora Duncan Award. It's the first time a ballet company has presented a program promoting Asian American Pacific Islanders, composers, designers, choreographers, dancers. We have a huge project inspired by the poetry, the protest poetry, carved into the walls of the Angel Island Immigration Station. Composer Huang Ro has taken that poetry and set it to music for 16-piece choir and string quartet. 4th of May, Sunday, we're presenting at the Paramount Theatre. It's a 90-minute oratorio with 7 different choreographic voices. We have more than 35 artists participating. It's going to be an absolutely transforming moment in our history of dance, in our history of Oakland, and the history of immigration, which is a story that we all share. I hope that we can rely on you being there. Please buy tickets, please come and see us, and also please support your local arts. The City of Oakland Council eviscerated all funding for the arts last December. So we're really hurting, and we look forward to seeing you in the theatre. Thank you.
There's also a discount code for Rotarians, so we will send out another note. And the Oakland Ballet, my goodness, this is one of the most amazing opportunities. I have 2 tickets that I'm going to be out of town, so I need somebody to give them to. If you know somebody that needs to go, I've got tickets. Joe, give us a minute about what's happening next weekend.
Isn't this an awesome club?
Yes!
But did you ever wonder what other clubs are doing? Well, a week from Saturday is your chance. At the District Learning Assembly, April 26th, West Valley College in Saratoga, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just let Jesse know. He'll get you signed up, no cost to you. Lunch is paid as well. This is open to committee chairs, committee members, new members. It's a chance for you to make new Rotary contacts. Join Shannon, Merlin, Daniel, and me. It's going to be fun. Did I mention free lunch?
So, thank you, Joe. Going to a district event, we're the most northern part of our district, and we go all the way down to Santa Cruz and over to Hollister and Gilroy. 59 clubs in our district, more networking for you, more opportunities to learn and more opportunities to network. So, District Learning Assembly, especially for new members. Okay, new members? We have 2 new members today. I would like to share the magic of Rotary with 2 new people bringing to our club. Linda Bossenecker, can you tell us about your friend John?
President Shannon and fellow Rotarians, I am not the new member, but in case you're, but I am very, very honored to introduce our newest Rotarian, at least for a minute, who is John Muscali, who is the CEO, relatively new, of the Oakland Boys and Girls Club. Yes, Cal Stanley retired a year and a half ago, and John has stepped in with his able expertise to be our new CEO. A couple interesting facts about John. Growing up, John's family owned and operated an African safari company. He should have been at the gala last week. That focused on photography, not hunting. So John spent a lot of his time as a youth and young adult in Africa game parks and gorilla trekking. And John admits that he always had an affinity for fast food. He met his wife 35 years ago while they were both volunteering at the Ronald McDonald House at Stanford Children's Hospital. And he and his wife then went on to spend the next 20 years as Burger King franchisees operating restaurants in Oakland and the East Bay. Please join me in welcoming John Muscali as our newest member.
Thank you, Linda. Where's my camera? David. I know. Hold on, John. We got to get a picture. Hello, my picture. David, come over here. This is your pin, John. Wear this proudly. I'm not going to pin you because I'll probably... And here's your Rotary Made Easy handbook and your 4-way test. And long tradition of Boys and Girls Clubs being in our club. And many of us have been supporting your organization for probably 100 years, literally. And we want to continue that tradition. And we're so happy to have you in the club. And we're happy to have the Boys and Girls Club in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. All right, great.
Thank you very much.
There you go. All right. Now you are no longer the newest member. Sorry. That's quick. But you know, Will Hobbs has another new member that we're very excited to bring along. Will?
Thank you, President Shannon. Can you guys hear me? Yep. And Rotarians, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to Alexandria Medina, known affectionately to all of us as Allie. Allie is a native of Southern California, born in Boyle Heights, and a graduate in 1997 of Cal Berkeley. Go Bears!
Sorry, I wore red.
And her husband, Max, is a former associate of Lorna Padilla Marcus at Moet, Mackey, and Anderson. So we have a connection that goes at least through that line. Allie is CEO of the Oakland Public Education Fund, and that's where I met her as a member of her board of directors. And she's been doing a tremendous job at the Ed Fund, and if you'd like to learn more about the Ed Fund and its alignment with the youth-facing activities of Oakland Rotary, please take the opportunity of getting to know her so you can understand better where our mutual connections are. Two interesting facts about Allie. Bear with me for a moment. At the age of 12, Allie won a car at Disneyland.
It's a good one.
And she's also a passionate Dodgers fan. So please don't be haters.
Sorry.
And Allie believes that baseball heals the soul.
Yay, baseball.
So welcome, Allie, and welcome, John. It's a pleasure to see you.
Allie. Welcome to Oakland Rotary. Thank you, Will. Allie, I want to welcome you to Oakland Rotary, and I want to tell you that we are inclusive of Dodger fans. And we love you, and we really do
You must love me.
love everybody equally. So with that, but we also love a little Go Bears competition for those Stanford people in the audience. Here we go. Rotary Made Easy, 4-way test, your badge. You are now the newest Rotary member until next week. And thank you for joining us. We're so excited. We've been doing work with her organization for many years, and we look forward to having you aboard.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, wait. Great. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. David Stein's going to talk about next week. Next week is a long-time tradition for this club, and it's really a great way to meet other Rotarians and their businesses. Sir.
Next week, don't come here. Brown bag lunch. On every table is a sign-up sheet. I want to do a quick thank you to Faye with Signature Properties, Go to Brooklyn Basin, Dan for the Oakland Hills campus, Kim, Meals on Wheels, Ed, Chapel of the Chimes, Kevin, Johnstone Supply, Nick, Oakland Zoo, Kimberly, Children's Fairyland, Joe with East Bay Restaurant Supply, Rich Harrison, Lighthouse Lodestar Charter Public School, and not on this list, but on the sign-up, when you use the QR code, Nuno, who's going to talk just 1 second about his place, Style Bath and Kitchen, which is the venue I'm going to and really looking forward to. Give us 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Go.
Rain heads, pot fillers, steam showers. Learn how we use those and more to create gourmet kitchens and spa baths at Style Bath and Kitchen.
So, thank you. So QR code, sign up today or you're left out. We've got to order the lunches tomorrow. 10 great venues. Please sign up right away. Thank you.
Hey, Dave, how will we be informed of where we're supposed to go next Thursday?
Everyone, thank you. I'll answer that question, which is everyone, we're putting together the master list. It'll be finalized tomorrow, and everybody will get a notice saying where they're going and with parking information and all of that. So you'll all get an email telling you about that. If you've signed up, please pay at the back for your lunch for next week. Today, Stephanie can help you get that payment in. Thank you.
So I'm going to take a breath here. Hello, Preston. Nice to see you. That was so fast, some people don't even know what we're talking about. We're dispersing into our community, and we're going to have lunch at people's businesses that are in this club. Nuno was talking about pot fillers and kitchen things. He's got a beautiful showroom. See, everybody wants to go to the zoo, and they're not going to his showroom. How many of you need to remodel your kitchen? Get over there. He's got safe parking, a gorgeous showroom, and kitchen cool stuff. And I can't come because I'm out of town. But he needs some sign-ups, and we need to show off his showroom.
Hey, Shannon, where can members and new members sign up for the place they want to go to?
On the QR code on your table.
Right up.
And we've sent it out on emails a couple times. What else are we doing? There's been a text message out. We're going to send another one this afternoon. Jesse, did he hear me? Jesse? Okay. So with that, it's really cool to just show up at somebody's business and to just hang out with 3 or 4 or 6 Rotarians. Nice gathering. Jesse, we're going to send out that QR code again for the brown bag lunch, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. We're ready for our speaker? Yes. All right. With that, you're wearing a Mono Lake t-shirt again? No touching the microphone. With that, Randy Arnold, please welcome our amazing guest from the Oakland Parks and Rec Department.
Thank you, Shannon, and Rotary members and guests. Yes, Greg and I are wearing our Mono Lake t-shirts. There's a flyer on your table for our Mono Lake gathering, and let me know if you have any questions. We want to make sure that your visit is amazing. But today, I'm honored to introduce our speaker, Sabrina Landreth, General Manager of the East Bay Regional Park District, which encompasses 73 parks and nearly 127,000 acres with 1,330 miles of trails. Greg and I have not been on all of those, and 55 miles of shoreline. These parks are one of the greatest urban park districts in the world. Ms. Landreth has deep roots in the East Bay as a 5th-generation native who has held the top executive leadership positions managing the cities of Oakland and Emeryville. She received a Master of Public Policy from the University of California, Berkeley, go Bears, and a Bachelor of Science from MIT. With Earth Day coming up this next week on April 22nd, we felt that Ms. Landreth would be able to expertly address some key environmental issues for our East Bay community. And please join me in welcoming Ms. Sabrina Landreth.
All right, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Is that all right? You tell me the distance here. Okay. I follow directions really well. It's a sign of a good public administrator. So thank you for inviting me to come back here. I was actually just reminding myself when I came in, this is actually my 3rd time speaking here, and I was thinking, I don't know if that means that I did okay last time or if it's a 3 strikes and you're out kind of chance. So thank you. I love coming here. It's always fun to see a lot of familiar faces. So as Randy said, you know, this is my hometown. I'm raising my kids here as they're actually 6th-generation East Bay kids on my side and my husband's side. So pretty deep roots, for better or worse, is what I like to tell them.
And I have 2 teenagers, and after working for elected officials for, I'm hitting my 25th year of that this year, I thought that was the hardest part of my day, but having 2 teenagers is really giving me a run for my money. So that's, it's been good training, having 25 years of electeds. So just a little refresher about our park district, and I say our park district because it's your park district. As Randy said, we are actually the largest park district in the country. We are, and we've been, just last year we celebrated our 90th anniversary, and the Park District was actually started in 1934 in the middle of the Depression. Actually, the taxpayers in Oakland and Berkeley came together, and they decided to tax themselves to preserve these precious lands up in the, what was considered surplus watershed up from East Bay Mud. And since that time, we've expanded into all of Alameda and all of Contra Costa counties. So your park district, actually the geographical boundary is larger than the state of Rhode Island. And we are serving a population of about 3 million plus people, which is more than over 20 states in the country. So just to give you some perspective of that. A lot of people know Tilden, the steam train, or maybe they know Temescal, but think about what that is, 73 parks. We also are the largest landowner in the East Bay. So a lot of people don't realize that. So that's also not just along these hillsides, kind of almost everything that you see. Second largest landowner is East Bay Mud, but the largest landowner in most of the hills, the Park District, but also along the Bay shoreline. So as mentioned, we have 55 miles of shoreline. I know you just mentioned one of your volunteer opportunities on Earth Day is down the MLK shoreline. That is also one of our parks. So a lot of people don't realize that. And we're serving Alameda and Contra Costa counties, which are 2 of the most diverse counties, not just in California, but in the country. So really, really exciting opportunities that we have as not just an open space district and as a property owner, but also we do a tremendous amount of programming and serving really thousands and thousands of school kids every year, field trips, but also virtual programming that we've pivoted to after the pandemic. So really, really exciting work that we're doing there. We have also 1,100 employees, so one of the largest employers in the East Bay as well, which people do not realize, and we are the largest youth employer. We've got seasonal lifeguards and gate attendants and lots of kids that help us out throughout, mostly the summer, but throughout the year. Telling that to any parents out there, always hiring. We also have, a lot of people don't realize this, we have our own police department and our own fire department, full service. So I've got actually a pretty big police department, and that includes 2 helicopters. Most of the time, if you see any helicopters up in the sky anywhere in the East Bay, the chances are that's either going to be City of Oakland. They have a little kind of tin aluminum box that goes up in the sky. But most of the time, if you see the kind of a real helicopter, that's the East Bay Regional Park District. And I can say all these things because I ran the city. So we use that air support is in constant use, and we provide a lot of mutual support to other public agencies that need that for law enforcement purposes, because again, no one else actually has a unit up there anywhere in the East Bay. CHP is the closest, and they have to come from Napa. But we also do water drops. So as part of my full-service fire department that I have out there, we do a tremendous amount of work with all of our agency partners to help put out fires, to do patrol and to put out fires. So a lot of people don't know that either. But just in general, a la carte menu, you can go on our website. I know a lot of you are familiar with us, but encourage you to go on there, just kind of whatever your fancy is for that day. We've got backcountry camping out in Sunol that people don't realize it. You'll feel like you're in the Sierras, to everything from urban fishing at Temescal and all of our day programs, golf, horseback riding, etc., depending on what you want. So just in terms of kind of some things that are going on within the Park District right now, it is the most exciting time to be running this Park District for many reasons, and I'll get to that. But one of them is that we are on the front lines of dealing with climate changes, extreme weather swings, and really trying to be the example for putting up some resilient projects. And those are really becoming super high profile. We are getting a lot of attention at both the state, national, and international stages for some of those projects. You can look on our website. But I want to focus for a minute on wildfire, because I know that that is the number one issue when we poll our constituents about what they're concerned about, especially as the largest property owner up in the hills. We are doing, we are the only public agency in the state that has been doing fuel management work at the scale that we're doing and for as long as we're doing it. We are serving as really the example for, again, not just our neighboring local jurisdictions here, but also I will get calls from the governor's office asking me to come up to Sacramento to come and give a talk about some of the pilot work that we're doing up in the hills. So we even got a call from the Canadian government last year when they were facing some of their wildfires and wanted to come in and look at some of the proactive work that we're doing. So super, super cool. I'm not going to get into all that today. We don't have time, but just want you to know that that is a huge focus of ours, of being the leader. I think we hosted 40 plus public agencies last year, touring some of the work that we have that we have underway. As we know, fire doesn't know boundaries, geographical boundaries, so we also see that as our responsibility to make sure that that both our public agency partners and also the private landowners know what we're doing for their hard-earned tax dollars. And our work is really science-based. I actually have biologists that are on staff and ecologists that are on staff within my fire department. My former fire chief was actually a biologist by training, which I think is super cool. And we have our own hand fuels crews that are out there that as part of these entry-level jobs, they actually all take ecology classes so that they are out there and knowledgeable about what they're doing. We're in 2025, our biggest effort is that we are starting outreach around our new district plan. A district plan is similar to what a city calls just their general plan. You do a new district plan about every 10 years. The last time the Park District underwent a district plan update was in 2013. I think we can acknowledge a few things have probably changed in the world since 2013. So this is really an all-hands effort within the Park District, where we are reaching out to the 33 cities, I have 33 cities within my Park District, both counties, and to our 3 million constituents and our 30 million visitors that we have every year, to really figure out what we want to be when we grow up. Yes, we just hit our 90th year, but really for the Park District, this is an opportunity for us to think about really how we want to continue to be relevant and what we want to be as this lead agency for what we're calling our second century plan. So really encourage you all. We'll be having a lot of events, tabling. There are online surveys that are on the website, and we'll be able to access a lot of this starting next month. We officially kick off these efforts on Saturday, on Earth Day, but you'll be seeing us really out and about in the community a lot over the next 18 months. So we really want to hear from you on what you would like. The new plan is really going to emphasize equity, resiliency, sustainability, and then really in the future for this, what I think is an essential service here in our community. We've got a lot of actual projects. We don't have time for me to get into those, but we are continuing to grow as a park district. We're at 126,000 acres in those 73 parks, but I have an entire department that is dedicated to land acquisition. So unlike most public agencies, we are continuing to grow every single year. And one of those the biggest efforts that I have we've undertaken in the last really couple years is, and I'm going to write an entire graduate student's course about this someday, is that we're in the process right now of acquiring the last large undeveloped parcel on the bay. And it's called Point Malati. Those of you that are familiar with the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, it's the last exit before you go across towards Marin, right next to Chevron as a big neighbor. And there's a 30-year, very long storied history about this property. You can look it up. It's can't make it up. But the good news is the Park District is very, very, very close to actually acquiring that open space, and is going to be absolutely game-changing for the Richmond community and for a lot of the wildlife that's out there, to be able to preserve that and really to be prevented a pretty large development from going in there. So super excited about that one. Just have to mention it. Other than that, please go on our website. We have our Trails Challenge, which I think a lot of people are familiar with. We have that's 32 years and counting on our Trails Challenge. We have our Earth Day events, lots and lots of opportunities for people to get involved. We have a Regional Parks Foundation. It's always looking for contributions. Earth Day is every day in the Park District, but especially on Saturday, there's a lot of events out there, and I encourage you to go out there. If you'll give me a couple more minutes of being able to give a little bit of a personal note here, and I'm going to start by just telling you, I've been doing this for a long time in a lot of very complicated public agencies. This one, where we're sitting in, probably the hardest. And I did 2 tours in Oakland. I'm the longest tenured city administrator, actually, in history. So it's not as long as you'd think it is, but it's dog years, as you guys know. And had the incredible fortune to be the police chief and the fire chief on top of my day job during some pretty trying times here in the city, but made it out on the other side. And I can tell you right now, this is a moment like no other to be a public sector employee. I know a lot of you know that, even if you haven't worked in government, but it's trying. It's really tough. And I say every day to my staff, there is no other place, there is no other public agency that I would want to be running right now than the East Bay Regional Park District. We are on the front line of every major public policy issue that is facing every community today. You can throw one at me and I will connect the dots. And it is exciting as can be, because we have the political juice, we have the stable revenues, never enough money. There's no public agency that ever say that they have enough money to do all they want, so we thank you for your generosity. But we have the ability, everything in our toolbox, to really set the example for what government means, what government can do. And I wouldn't have signed up for this gig if I didn't think it was possible, so it's super exciting. So you're gonna indulge me for a minute. Every year for the last 25 years, I have taken a really special day for myself, which is April 15th. What's on April 15th every day? For me, as a public sector employee who has her paycheck paid by the taxpayers, and I am a law-abiding taxpayer myself, every year for 25 years, I've taken a moment on that day, and I've set some time aside to really reflect on the service that I'm providing in exchange for that investment from hardworking people. And I also reflect as I write my check, or I hope I get a refund, on my own taxes. Am I getting what I feel like I should be getting for that investment? And for the last probably about 12, 15 years, I've actually shared these reflections with all of my employees through a message. And I'm going to go ahead and read what I sent out this year, and I'm going to try not to choke up. So please indulge me. It's not too long, but I'm going to read it a little bit word for word. Today, April 15th, marks tax day in this country, and it's always an important day for me personally and professionally. Every year on this day for the last 25 years, I take time to reflect on my direct service to the taxpayers that support my paycheck, and I think about the return society is getting for my own contributions as a taxpayer at the federal, state, and local levels. I have the tradition of sharing some of those reflections with my fellow public sector colleagues. Every year brings its own special flavor of these reflections. This year is no exception to that uniqueness. But every year, the fundamentals remain consistent for me. Paying our taxes is a patriotic, civil act that is essential to our democratic society. It's an important ritual that most people take great pride in, even when there's dissatisfaction in how those dollars are being spent. We remain ever optimistic as Americans that our contributions as hardworking members of the greater community will result in improving others' lives, regardless of politics. The recent onslaught of criticism at the federal level of public servants is not new. But for all the misunderstanding about what we do, there's a truth that will never be taken. We're building a better world and future. We're doing it quietly, daily, and relentlessly. We're not here for attention or cheap wins. A colleague recently referred to this work to me as, quote, architects of the ordinary. That we manage systems and shape communities. Our legacies will oftentimes not be obvious or flashy, as we don't just solve problems, we prevent the ones that no one ever sees. This work isn't about being known, it's about being counted on, as we are building something essential and permanent. Mostly for people we will never meet. The quiet strength of public service is that we shape the world without needing to be seen in it. And in our case here in the Park District, investments in parks represents the best of what government has to offer. We work hard every day to make the East Bay a more attractive place to live and work, to provide a significant return on our constituents' investments, taxes. I'm so honored to work with each of you. Witnessing the incredible contributions that you make in our communities every day is inspiring. Last week, I had the opportunity to visit the Grand Canyon National Park with my family. On Saturday, I watched the sunrise over the canyon. Hundreds of other park visitors joined me on the rim as we patiently watched the sun wake up over the horizon. I heard about 10 other languages being spoken around me, representing a very diverse group of park visitors. But as the sun peeked out, everyone became silent, and there was an overwhelming sense of communal experience. Looking out at the vast canyon, the world had never felt so small and so connected to me. We were brought together by a universal feeling of the strength and healing of nature, something much bigger than any one of us, something that was made possible by some of the country's most resilient employees right now at the National Park Service. I was overwhelmed by the moment and was actually brought to tears by the beauty and the spirit of the experience. So in honor of these contributions and the power of parks, I wish you a happy tax day. Please join me in thanking fellow public servants today for their work, and as you pay your taxes, remember how much you benefit from the critical government services that your own tax dollars support. Thank you for choosing public service and for all you do. That's what I sent out to my employees on Tuesday. It was really hard to write, as you can imagine. And so I just want to say to all of you who also, in your own way demonstrate service, and, whether it's through this club or through other things that I know you all do in this community, thank you on behalf of the Park District and on behalf of really the entire community. And I'll see you out there on the trails.
Wow. Wow. I need a picture of this lovely lady. I want to say one, I'm sorry I introduced you with the wrong organization. Lake Chabot, owned by the East Bay Mud, but you have a park there.
Correct, that's our park.
That's my holy place, Lake Chabot, and I don't ever take it for granted. And it's highly used by
Yes, it is.
many different cultures. Your remarks today are amazing. And I want to say that Rotary does this for me during a meeting. It takes you, it educates you, and it makes you appreciate who we are as people in this place. And the place you get to work is pretty special, and I have learned a lot, and I'm very, very grateful for you. Our speaker gift is actually trying to help the greater world. Rotary's been trying to wipe out polio off the face of the earth for a couple of decades, and we are this close, and we're going to be making a donation in your name to help wipe out polio. Thank you. And we are just really, really grateful. I think I have a bell ringer out there. I think Mary Jiang?
Oh, Mary. Who's getting there?
Thank you. As a CPA, I appreciate your April 15 and applaud your statement. So my question is, you mentioned that the regional park is a model for fire management in light of all the fires happening in Southern California. and you have agency visiting. Could you expand a little bit what model, how you're doing the fire management containment?
Sure. So we have a lot of just kind of our day-to-day traditional work that we do. We have goats that are out there, goat grazing. I call those our hardest working employees. And we have a tremendous amount of our lands actually are cattle grazed as well. So a lot of people don't realize the importance of cattle grazing out there, mostly in the eastern parts of the county, in the open space out there. So we do those as supplemental work. But then we also have our own fire department that every year is clearing out dead and dying trees, creating fuel breaks, and then we also have our own suppression department and efforts that we're doing. And then one last thing is we have a huge demonstration project. We're using this kind of beast of a machine. It's like a giant kiln called a carbonizer that we have been using out at Anthony Chabot, and where we have, it's basically a giant incinerator where you're able to put the dead and dying trees in there, and it creates, the byproduct is something called biochar, which you can then turn back into using for other agricultural purposes, and not have to put the debris onto trucks and fuel and, have other carbon issues associated with that, and actually use the treatment on the spot. So just some examples.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Jason.
Mac? You have a question, Mac? And there was a question online, too.
My question, first of all, thank you very much for sharing that intimate email with your staff with us. So thank you very much for that. And I hate to sound like Debbie Downer, but here comes my question. How has the Regional Park Service somewhat potentially prepared themselves for our federal policy shifts that may be opening up public land to extraction of minerals or just selling it off for development?
Yeah, great question. It's a question I get all the time. And something, one really good thing is that most of your local agencies, not the county, I'll leave them off to the side, actually do not accept a lot of federal funding. So we're not really as at risk in terms of kind of the most immediate impacts on some of the federal funding. Just it comes with so many restrictions. The moment you put one dime of federal money into a project, it becomes really burdensome. So we do everything we can to not take federal money. So that's a good thing that we're not beholden on a day-to-day. However, that it does affect grant funding, which is what we use for a lot of our massive projects. So, we're kind of still full steam ahead working with our delegation out there to try to get money. What's lovely about parks and open space is that, it really is bipartisan, nonpartisan for the most part. So, I always say parks are not partisan. That's one of my lines that we're using, and we're able to actually get a lot of bipartisan support through. In terms of kind of what's going to happen on other, public lands and how that's going to affect us, we don't really know. I get that question as well, but in terms of like kind of the immediate impact to us, it's not kind of shutting down the parks or causing anything that's keeping me up at night.
That helps me sleep too. Thank you. Keith, one more question.
One more, thank you. What is the East Bay Regional Parks, or what are the barriers for East Bay Regional Parks to either purchase or lease Joaquin Mulder Park?
I also get that question. I got that question when I was on the other side of the park. So yes, great question. We have been approached just kind of haphazardly about that in the past. We're always open to talking to our public agencies about opportunities. Joaquin Miller's a funky one because you've got East Bay Regional kind of on all sides. And I really hate to badmouth the city, so I'm not going to go there. But, there are many that think that we could maybe do, just the nature of the budget issues, that we could probably do a better job. I don't know. It's something that it kind of comes up all the time. I think there are some, I would say, legal restrictions that the city of Oakland has to look into before they really would pursue that in terms of giving up open space that they are required to keep. But we also operate a tremendous amount of acreage for other public agencies, so we don't necessarily have to own everything in order to operate it. So it's a great question, one you should continue to ask.
Great, maybe someday you'll have it. So one question online, Linda and Pam. Oh, we got 2 bell ringers online, but another question was, it's on the screen here. What is your opinion on the likelihood of developing a new park in one of the big vacant lots in Oakland, like the MacArthur Broadway or Broadway Pleasant Valley area? Any urban-ish parks?
Always open to talking about opportunities. There's a difference between a regional park and a municipal park, so we do get inquiries all the time for kind of like maybe, isolated parcels that are sitting there and probably not aligned with our mission, but, we always take inquiries in, and we have recommend anybody that wants to send one our way, we have send it to our land acquisition department.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I have a couple bell ringers, 2 bell ringers online. Linda and... Yes.
Can I say,
another bell ringer? Linda?
Yeah. If I could just quickly, I wanted to thank Sabrina, and as the author of Best Hikes Near San Francisco and Hiking San Francisco Falcon Guides, I've had the pleasure to spend a lot of time in the parks, and your agency was like by far the best to work with in the research I was doing. And we have a very great connection here in our club to the agency with William Penmott Jr., who is a past director and also past president of our club and acquired millions of acres, I believe, for the agency. So thank you so much.
Great. And Randy's going to ring the bell again, $100 for Oakland Rotary Endowment. Thank you, Randy. All right, with that, we have 2 new members to welcome on your way out. I also want a quick shout out to Julia Fox, who was here today. She's been in the hospital last week, and she is a great champion to be back in the swing, and so we wish her well wishes and mending. And anything else? With David Stein, we have after our brown bag lunch, which we're going to remind you to sign up for.
Sign up for the brown bag lunch. If you can't use a QR code like Jack, just come see me and give me your name and what food you want. In 2 weeks, we will have Colin Baring. He just purchased 1950 Franklin Street, a block up here, and the big parking garage that goes across from it. He developed 1900. Find out what he's doing in a business rental market where there's a 34% vacancy rate. He's got some interesting ideas. You won't want to miss it. That'll be the May 1st program. And May 7th, if you're interested in being on the speakers committee, let me know, because we're going to have our kickoff meeting for Joe's year May 7th in the evening. Thank you, President.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great, hardworking committee. Everybody have a safe and wonderful day. This meeting is adjourned.